So, you're looking for a great dog trainer here in Sacramento? It can definitely feel like a huge job, but don't worry. Today, we're going to break it all down step by step so you and your dog can get out there and enjoy everything this city has to offer. If you've ever tried to walk through the busy streets of Midtown with a dog that's pulling you all over the place, yeah, you get why this is so important. A well-trained dog just completely transforms those daily walks from something stressful into something you actually look forward to. So here's our game plan. We'll start with what training looks like for Sacramento life specifically. Then we'll get into what to look for in a trainer. After that, it's the nitty-gritty of how to actually make your choice. We'll touch on some local rules, and then, the fun part, imagining life with your awesome, trained companion. Okay, first up, training for Sacramento. Let's talk about why living here with a dog has its own kind of flavor, its own unique opportunities, and yeah, a few challenges. Think about it. Life in Sacramento is so active and outdoorsy. You want a dog that can just chill at a bustling farmer's market or relax by your feet on a J Street Cafe patio. You want to walk those beautiful tree-lined streets in East Sac without any drama. Good training is what gets your dog ready for all these real-world city situations. So, what really makes a trainer stand out? Let's get into the foundational things you absolutely need to be looking for. Honestly, the absolute gold standard in modern dog training is positive reinforcement. It's a pretty simple idea. You just reward the behavior you want to see more of. This builds a really strong, trusting bond. And you know what? It's just way more effective in the long run than any of those old school methods that rely on punishment or fear. Now, let's talk about all those letters you might see after a trainer's name. They can look a little confusing, right? But you should definitely keep an eye out for credentials like CPDT-KA or KPA-CTP. These tell you that the trainer is serious about their education and professional standards. And hey, if you're dealing with more complex issues, like serious fear or aggression, seeing something like CBCC-KA is a very good sign. So where should the training actually happen? Well, there are two main options. In-home training is perfect for tackling problems that happen, at home, like going nuts when the doorbell rings. Group classes, on the other hand, are awesome for practicing those skills with all the distractions of other dogs and people around. Okay, so you know what you're looking for in a trainer's approach and style. Now for the practical part. How do you actually vet them and figure out the costs? Here's your checklist. For real, have these questions ready when you call a potential trainer. You want to hear them talk about positive methods. You want to know how they're going to make a plan specifically for your dog and your goals. And of course, you have to be super clear on costs and any cancellation policies right from the start. Speaking of costs, here's a quick look at the typical averages in Sacramento for 2025. You can see a set of puppy classes might be a couple $100, while something more intensive, like a board and train, is obviously a much bigger investment. This should give you a good ballpark for setting a budget. Oh, this is such a great guideline, especially if you've recently adopted a dog. It's the 3-3-3 rule. It's just a reminder to be patient, It takes time for a dog to settle in. They need a few days to decompress, a few weeks to learn your routine, and a few months to really feel at home. Training should work with this adjustment period, not fight against it. All right, let's get into some Sacramento specifics. Knowing the local rules of the road and, the sidewalk is just part of being a great dog owner in our city. If you remember just one number from this whole thing, please make it this one: 6. 6 feet. In all public spaces in Sacramento, your leash can't be longer than 6 feet. It's a simple rule that keeps everyone safe. And it means those super long retractable leashes, probably best to leave those at home for your city walks. And beyond the leash law, there are a few other key rules. Your dog has to have a current rabies vaccine and be licensed with the county, and be a good neighbor about barking, especially if you're in a denser area like Midtown. Excessive noise can definitely lead to complaints. So where can you go to put all this new training into practice? The American River Parkway is amazing for working on leash skills with bikes and joggers whizzing by. William Land Park is great for practicing focus with all sorts of distractions. And fenced-in spots like Partner Park are just perfect for safely working on recall. And all of this work, it leads to the absolute best part, what life looks like after you've put in the time. This is where you really truly get to enjoy our amazing city together. At the end of the day, training isn't just about having control. It's about companionship. It's what lets you confidently bring your dog along for the ride, whether you're just grabbing a coffee, hitting a park, or enjoying a walk in your own neighborhood. It really just opens up the city for both of you. With the right skills, you can look forward to so many things: easier walks, calmer moments at home, and just way more adventures together around town. We wish you the absolute best on your training journey.